Good morning. It's Amanda from the Little Bluebird Gallery, and I'm working in my studio this morning on a fun little fall fox themed painting. So what I'm planning on doing is working on something that is easy that you could do at home and let you try that out. Today's the last day for you to join my creative community. The doors are going to close tonight at midnight, and so this may give you a little bit of something that you could try out and see if palette knife painting is something that you might enjoy before you commit to joining the group. But I'm going to move my camera over so that you can see my table here. Let's see. Sometimes my focus gets a little out of whack, so just bear with me just a minute. Hi, Beth and Sherry. Okay. So first of all, yep, there goes my focus. Hang on. I like to be able to talk to you and show my face at the beginning of my videos, but when I turn it around, sometimes it completely messes up my focus on my camera here. So maybe we can get it to work. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit more. See if that helps. Try not to make you dizzy. Okay. It may do a little crazy zoom in and out every once in a while, but hopefully we'll work through that. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is kind of just draw out what I want this to look like. So I'm just going to use some brown paint. It's just craft paint, acrylic craft paint, and a paintbrush, and just kind of sketch out what it is that I'm wanting to do here. And this is it's a 9x12 canvas. I got to get my focus on here. Okay. And this part is just really a rough sketch. So we're going to have a fox, and I'm going to put him about, let's put the top of his head about right here. So he's going to have ears like this, and I want him to be kind of skinny and not too big. When you're tracing out something like this, you could look at some pictures of real foxes, some different paintings of foxes that other people have done, and kind of make your own version. That's what I usually do. Hi, Cindy. And I keep forgetting that I've got to scroll down to see everybody's comments. So hang on just a second. Let me see here. Good morning, Donna and Sharon and Rhonda and Lynn and Michelle. Michelle's asking about the painting group. Are you locked in, or can you do 1 month and get out? You can cancel at any time, the way my group works. No, you're not locked in. There's no contract or anything like that. So you can come and go whenever you want to. But as far as coming back in, if you come in and then you try to leave, or you do leave, I'm gonna have to stop painting and talk. If you come into the group this month and then you leave next month, you're not going to be able to come back in again until I reopen the group, which would be on into 2019. So that's just the only thing about coming in and going out. Hi, Beverly and Joyce and Bonnie. I'm glad you're all here this morning. I wasn't sure how many people would be on first thing in the morning like this. So, okay. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of sketching out the idea of a fox. You can have a tail back here. And I'm going to give you a little tip here. When you're painting animals, the hardest thing to do, in my opinion, are legs. Animal legs are hard. So you don't have to paint the animal's legs if you want to. You can put something in front of the animal, like pumpkins. That's what we're going to do here. I'm going to put one pumpkin right here. And these are just rough little sketches, like I said. I'm going to put one sticking up back here and another one right here that are just kind of coming off the, they're going to come off the edge of my canvas. And let's put our horizon line way back here. I really wish my Facebook page would scroll up so I could see all of your comments in real time. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to put, let's put one little pumpkin about right here. And maybe another smaller one back here. And like I said, this is going to be your rough sketch. So for your fox, just got kind of an outline of what his body's going to look like. And have his tail back here. And I'm going to go ahead and place the eyes right here and right here. And then the nose right here. And I'm going to do something side to side right here so that I can, when I place my colors, I'll have a better idea of how to do this. I don't know if you can hear Preston the cat, but he's really mad because I locked him out of here. Okay, so there's our rough sketch. And now comes the fun part. So I'm going to take, let's see, what colors I want to use. I haven't painted a fox in a long time, so this is just kind of experimental with you all. We'll see what happens. And then I'm going to need white. And I think I want this one to be sort of soft, and I don't want my colors to be too bright. So what I have in mind is, of course, the orangey brown and then the white for the fox. And I'm thinking for these pumpkins, I'm going to do some really light turquoise colors and maybe some grays or blues in the background up here too. So let me scroll down my comments and see. Good morning, everybody. And he looks pretty rough right now, doesn't he? All right. Let me see here. I'm going to start with just putting a little bit of this orange and white together on my palette knife. And just putting it on here. Let's see. I think his whole face, except for down here, is this orangey color. I'm trying to look at some pictures of of a few foxes while we paint. And right now I'm just getting some color in there. We'll come back and put in some details if we need to later. And the fun thing about this is you may follow these same ideas, but your fox is probably going to look totally different from mine when you get done, which is the way it should be. Okay, so I've got like a dark burnt orange, and then I've got a tangerine, a brighter orange here. And so I'm going to take some of that brighter orange and put it in a few spots. Okay. Now, under his eyes need to be a little bit darker. And then like the high points, the parts that would stick up a little bit, need to be lighter. So recessed areas need to be darker, and the areas that would stand out more need to be lighter. And it's more about color than perfection of lines or anything like that. The way that I do it anyway. Okay, so now I'm going to use this same brown that we were using to draw it out, and I'm going to come in and work on his eyes a little bit more. The main reason I like painting with a palette knife is because you can be messy and the results are still going to be really fun and loose and somewhat realistic, but not so much that you're afraid that you're going to mess something up. So you can draw lines with the side of your knife. Give some more details in certain areas. Let's see. I need some darker areas up here in his ears. And maybe we'll do a few little whiskers. Sometimes I mess up with whiskers because I try to make them a little bit too big. So I think that's okay. All right, now I'm going to take some of this bright orange and put that in the eye area right here. And then some white. See that? Just that tiny little bit of white in those eyes made it really stand out and look so much more realistic. Hi Tammy and Nita. Hi Sandra. Melanie. Good morning everybody. Okay. I may come back and do some more details on him. I probably will. I think I need to add a little more dark right here. Okay, we're just going to leave him alone for a minute and I'm going to work on some of the things around him. So for my background, I want this up here to be a light and pretty blue, like a turquoise maybe. Let's see, what's this? Well, that's called Mint Aqua. I'm going to go with that. That sounds good. Need to wipe my palette knife off a little bit. And I'm going to use this color for this background up here. Mix a little bit of white in there. And I think I'll make this pumpkin here this color too. So I'm just going to go ahead and block that color in there. These two I'm going to do a cream color. So I'll do this little one, this mint color also. And then this one over here. You can place your pumpkins wherever you want to. You don't have to be exact and do it like I did. Okay, and in here I'm going to do this dark brown color because I want there to be some contrast there. So get that in there. And I'm going to lighten it up a little bit right here. Let me see if you have any comments that I haven't seen. I don't see any questions. Okay. So I want to do these pumpkins like a, I don't know, this color is called linen. I'll try it and see how it looks. I think I told you all recently that these folk art craft paints seem to be thicker than the other craft paints that I've used. If you can see this, that's staying on my knife really well. So I'm doing this whole piece with craft paint, and I haven't used any gel medium, but for the most part I'm using the folk art brand paint, which I'm really happy with. with the thickness of it. And the cat's trying to come in. I'm going to add a little bit of this color to the fox too. Okay, now I'm going to work on my pumpkins and get them all messied up. You don't want all of your pumpkins to be turned exactly the same way. So I'm putting the stems in different spots, and then you'll pull your lines down from those different spots, and it's going to make the pumpkin look like it's on its side, or however it is that you want it to appear. Okay, I'm going to let those set just a little bit, and work on his ears just a little bit more, because they need to be a little bit bigger. For some reason my camera is zooming on me again. So now I'm just really adding a good bit of highlights and texture. Trying not to cover up these lines that I made too much. Anita asked what size canvas I'm using. It is a 9 by 12. And Catherine said, when you use a knife, does it give the painting texture? Yes, because when you're using a knife, you're not, you're just kind of laying paint down rather than using a brush and blending it in. Here's my camera again. Sorry, y'all. I got my hand too close or something. When you're using a knife, you're just kind of putting paint down in almost like blobs, really, for lack of a better word. And when you do that, then it gives it that texture. This is making it look a little more fall-like when I add this. I don't know what is going on with my camera. See if I can make it stop doing that. I think I'm going to add a little bit of like a branch or something. Maybe some kind of guys, I don't know what is going on here. Okay, let me try to pull it down closer and maybe it'll focus and stop that. That helped for a minute. Let's see. Sandra said, will this video be posted? Yes, it will. And I can't keep up with all the comments. I'm so sorry. I think I'm going to put like a little branch over here. I just feel like something needs to be right here. So let's just go with that. Maybe some kind of little twigs of something. All like stuff. So it's more like just a hint of some leaves over there rather than a very realistic looking thing. So really the key to this with painting animals with palette knives is the eyes. The more realistic you can make the eyes, the more realistic your animal is going to be. So if you watched from the very beginning, you saw me and saw how he looked pretty bad to begin with, huh? But the more you add to him, just put your colors in the right spots and make sure that you get your recessed areas dark and your areas that are coming forward light, and try your best to make those eyes look as realistic as you can. I'm going to make that a little bit rounder right there. Their eyes give them personality too. So depending on how open or how slanted, or I'm going to put a little bit of white in there, how much detail you use is going to make their eyes look either realistic or happy or sad or afraid. There you go. There's our fall fox with some pumpkins. And like I said, if you have problems with painting feet and legs on animals, just throw something in front of them. And it's going to make your painting look a little more fun and whimsical too. So like with this one, let's see, I can see some of your comments now. Faye said she may just try the pumpkins. The fox may be too advanced for her. That's fine. You can work on those pumpkins. Thanks, Beverly. She says she likes the color scheme. Thank you, everybody, with sweet comments. Sandra said, may I ask why we don't put background color in first instead of filling in? It's not a crazy question. That's just one of my quirks, I guess you could say. For one thing, if I painted the whole thing with this bluish green color first, then I'm going to be wasting a lot of paint, to be honest, because then I'm going to paint over it and fill in all of this with a different color. So what kind of started that trend for me was when I would paint a flower arrangement, I like to have a little bit of an edge that's white around some of my subject. There goes my camera again. So I just kind of played around to see what would happen if I put my background in last, and I liked the way it looked, so I just kept doing that with all of my subjects. So it's not a crazy question. It's just one of my crazy things that I do. Thanks, Rhonda. She said it may be one of her favorite of my paintings. Beth said mine look like a cat. Just go back and you can paint over it. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Paint is forgivable. Just make sure you've got your lights and your darks in the right places. And if you need to look at a picture of a real fox, that will help you a lot too, Beth. So if you just Google photo of fox, then that will help you with getting the proportions right and things like that. Because I was looking at a picture when I was looking at several different ones. Beth said I scraped his face off. There you go. Just start over. Paint over it and start over again. It'll be fine. And it may take a few times. This one was a little bit hard. And you have to get the hang of being loose and not trying too hard to put stuff in places. Like for instance, the nose, this brown area right here where the nose is, all I did was swirl around some brown and white paint. So I didn't try too hard to make it look like a nose. And the harder you try, the less likely you're going to be to make it look like you want it to look. Because with palette knife painting, a lot of times it's just kind of like you just put it down and stop. Because if you keep playing with it too much, then it's not gonna work. So I'm glad you all were here, and hope you enjoyed it, and hope you can try it. Like I said, tonight is the deadline for my painting group. If you want to join, come on in today while you still can. And I don't know, I was thinking, let me see if I can turn this and show myself. You're going to see my very messy studio. I'm not sure if I'm going to go live again today or not, but I know that some of you were having questions about the group, and I'll be happy to answer them as I can. If I have enough questions, then I will do another live video and just answer your questions. But thank y'all for being here with me today. And let's see if I can show it better here. Here's our little fox, and you can kind of see how big it is in comparison to me. It's a 9 by 12. But I will see you guys later. Bye.